Happy Earth Tone Tuesday, y'all. Have no idea if this is working, but we trying some new things. We are working on upgrades. I got a notification that say some of our destinations have errors. I don't know which, sites we are managing to get through to. So it's gonna be interesting. This is something of a test day, of a soft launch type of day. The world famous NIC, my brother Rhyme, nobody I'd rather be bumping my head around with. So I don't even know if we live right now. Honestly, I do not. What's it look like for you?
Uh, yeah, I don't see anything on this side saying that Earth Tone is on
That
IG.
might be the disruption. I'm gonna check. I'm going to check on YouTube to see if we are live too. Hold on, let me do like this. Do your hips like this one time. Yeah, we had a whole meeting yesterday. It was like, yo, come out the gate firing.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. um. Oh, we are live on. I'm gonna mute this. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, we're live on YouTube. That's
All
cool.
right, dope.
Uh, Let me see what we're looking like on Twitch. This is forging new ground. Oh, that's. I feel like I need to not go to my own thing. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, we in there. A little delay. That's what's up. All right, so we on Twitch and we are on YouTube currently live, doing a little multi-stream, multi-platform broadcast uh, for you and yours. So I got no idea who's tuned in. Um, and but if you are across different platforms, just know that we appreciate you. We are learning new things. That is the name of the game on planet Earth at this time. And by that, I specifically mean we're getting our game together. Anybody who's, at least even moderately a fan of music has heard about how artists get jerked, how the labels took advantage, how the publishing got, you know, how I'm getting notifications saying we're not live on YouTube, but we live on YouTube. We tripping. Um, and yeah, man, knowing all of these things, we've heard all these cautionary tales for years now. Uh, we're seasoned. We're not children. We've managed to create lives for ourselves and as adult people. So we're using all the sensibilities that we got, enjoying our creative developments, and at the same time making sure that our game is correct. I guess one of the interesting things about the day and age that we currently live in is you take people on the journey with you. And right now, this is a live look at the journey, and the journey entails we may not be connecting on everything that we had planned coming into the day, but what we are doing is we're trying to expand our reach, knowing that there's a my light goes out. See all the tech issues. Yeah, it's just that this is the world we're in now. We trying to get our game tight together and expose ourselves to people who are in that Twitch world, who've been showing us a lot of love, no less. Obviously, YouTube is its own machine, and we've been generating new subscribers and people who are down for the ride, who tune in, support our content that way. So we want to make sure that we're not excluding anybody by just using one platform or another. So here we are. And I see how you living, man. I guess let's just get into the Earth Tone Tuesday thing.
Good, man. I mean, you set it up right. It's like, you got to go through these growing pains. And, I was just watching an unsung on, I think I was telling you on PM Dawn, and how, they trademark got, jacked, and that it's a cousin now going out and performing as PM Dawn,
Crazy.
and he won't sell the name back. And we know even close to home, like the trials and tribulations that the Far Side went through. And it's like, man, if you don't have, I always jokingly say it, but it's a lot of truth to it. It's like being in a group, I don't care, a business relationship is the closest thing to marriage outside of probably your marriage. Because you got two uh different personalities. Sometimes it could be many. Now I look back in the day, like, with the Supremes and Kool and the Gang and those huge groups. I just don't even know how they got anything done, because with two people it's enough. I mean, if you got two different opinions, you know what I mean? I can only imagine if it was four or five, the heart, the five heartbeats and all of that stuff. Like, so it's just like you got to have all of your T's crossed, all your I's dotted before you move forward. And with each step, there's a little bit of growing pains that go along with it. You know what I mean? Technical, the IT stuff and the technical, know-how. And I applaud all the people that just know how to maneuver around this world almost seamlessly.
What?
The icy ices and the stresses and all the people that's doing it really big and multi-streaming on all these platforms. But
well, shout out to Smooth D, because he got a way about him that where he gets on IG. Where he gets on IG. In addition, we are on some of these worlds. We hustled it. Well, I got a real cool setup in the crib already. Hustled and scrambled. I don't need nothing to make the music. I don't need the sound. I don't need the aesthetic. I don't need the lava lamp bubbling. I just need the damn computer and the mic, and I just, that's it. It's all in here anyway. But was not going to expose you to a bare bones type of situation. So, wanted to try to get the aesthetic right for the studio, et cetera, since we're trying to just forge into this new ground. And we will, and we are. So, yeah, man, let's talk music a little bit. Did you happen to check the Grammys?
I saw the Nas performance.
That's it. That was nice.
Yeah,
that was nice. I'm not mad at you. I think I skipped probably a couple years. I just so happened to be hanging with my mom this weekend, who is a sucker for any and all award shows. So we definitely had that going. My wife is, she'll lean into the Grammys too. So I was definitely in a room with people who were into it. I think it's great that Anderson .Paak and Bruno, aka Silk Sonic, they did what they did. I love their sound. I love what they bring to the game. They're like insanely talented. Hey, Peace Mood in the building. Okay. Are we in the Twitch house now? Hey, Paul knows how to make the jump.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, bro. Hers. She's special. My wife clued me. I didn't know this about her, but did you know that like her backstory, what it entails is like she's just this virtuoso musician, kind of just a savant, and like had all these skills at a very young age. And I think like she was a bit of a child star, but that can only, that's all. It's not going to be taken seriously. It's more novel. And then basically had to go dark for a long time, completely off the grid, and then resurfaced and created herself as this, as the artist that we recognize her to be today. And like, stripped her name and then came, with the her, thing, the whatever, the branding around her. So very cool story. I think Jasmine Sullivan's Hotels was a nice project. So she won the R&B album. That was cool to see. Silk Sonic, cool to see. Nas shut it down. I really do enjoy when artists with track records as deep as a Nas, they don't forget that that's what the people want. You know what I mean? Like the people are interested in hearing the throwback too. So he did a nice job of like doing a medley, you know, including did he do Made You Look and then One Mic, and then, you know, went into some of the newer material that he been working on with Hit Boy. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah, but did you kind of get what I was hinting at as far as his live performance? You know, it was a lot more recognizable and notable at Smoking Grooves.
Sure.
But you know, I feel like he's so lyrical. And people that are not true Nas fans come to hang on every single word of Nas. And they know every single word of Nas. So when Nas himself as the performer misses a word or doesn't have his breath right to get to deliver it like we're accustomed to hearing it,
right,
it's so recognizable because we expect Nas to be like,
you
know, this, and I just feel like he could benefit. I mean, it's Nas. This is not a knock on Nas. This is more of to add to his performance, having a hype man or a DJ that could finish off those classic punchlines so that it just sounds flawless. Because when you put him in the rare air, which I personally do, of a Black Thought and a Busta Rhymes,
absolutely.
First of all, you know, Black Thought doesn't need any hype man. He get for whatever reason his breath control is so crazy. He gets through it with no hype man. Busta Rhymes recognizes maybe because he like, dog, I know I smoke, I drink, I go through my phases of working out and not like I got a spliff star there just in case. And
well, he's also rapping circles. I don't mean rapping circles in terms of being superior, but he's rapping circles in terms of speed and cadence around basically everybody with very few exceptions, you know.
1000%.
Yeah.
But you know, he recognizes I need a spliff there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like I don't think it would hurt Nas and his appeal to people that love Nas, like him having a hype man there. Him, like Jada Kiss said, him rapping over his lyrics would be something that we'd be like, oh, Nas, that ain't how we want to see you. But him having a hype man where he could just take that breath and say, you know, y'all finish off the punchlines or let my man finish off the punchline, the end of the word, so I could just get back on and hit but I recognized it at the Grammy. I was like, see, that's what I was talking about when we was talking about the Smoking Grooves tour. I was like, man, and the DJ he had there, which was I think Green Lantern. You know, he didn't do. I don't think he did a great job of being a hype man. He really didn't do a good job of being the kind of DJ that I think that Nas needs, which is one that could go off and you know really bring that element of super pure hip hop to it. So I don't know. I mean, this is the opinions expressed on this.
Sure.
It's solely responsible for, you know, I see the world famous that I see is only responsible for what I think it says.
Nah, I dig. Maybe I got a soft spot in my heart or something because you know, and I was actually I did recall your sentiments coming off of Smoking Grooves, but I also had seen Nas perform twice, you know, outside of Smoke before that, you know, that narrative came up. So I already had I feel like I was already exposed to dope Nas live. And so whatever I saw at the Grammy, and first of all, the performances are really dope at the Grammys. Everybody's pulling out their best work. So I don't mean to take away for nobody. They just don't resonate on me the way that they might for like the, you know, the Grammy viewer. But when it's somebody of Nas's ilk, you know, that elite status, legendary hip hop, like I'm probably gonna watch it through a positive lens regardless of what he's doing. So I wasn't looking at it through anything. I didn't see anything there. I was really happy to see it. I thought it was
no, and again, man, it's Nas. So this
Yeah.
is me setting a bar
Right.
for Nas. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like if it was somebody that I didn't really, really love and respect and have a high standard of, you know, a high standard for, I wouldn't even care about it. I would be like, you know what I mean? Why, you know, if they dropped out a few words here or there, I'd be like, you know, it's JJ Fad. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I just keep it moving. But you know, I just know the hip hop purists, the lyricists, you know, we want to see that complete performance. And when I go see a Big Daddy Kane, a Rakim, a Black Thought, a Q-Tip, a Busta Rhymes, I've never been disappointed.
Yeah.
Never been disappointed.
Yeah.
Not that I was disappointed with the Nas thing. I'm just like, man, you could do this, and it could add another level to your performance, because we all know you're a great lyricist.
Right.
But if you had a hype man, then at least you could get. And I know how it is, man. I've been on stage before. I've had to rap. I mean, you know what I mean. Whether you're just excited, whether you just don't have your breath, your cadence right, or whatever. Like you can. I don't think a lot of people realize how easy it is to be amped up and start missing words and trying to remember stuff and put that full performance on it that you need, instead of just going up there rapping. You know what I mean? The only person that can get away with just rapping without exerting any energy is Jay-Z. That's the only person I know that can do it.
Yeah.
And Jay-Z kind of messed it up for every rapper, because you had the local low-level kind of rappers feeling like, I'm just gonna go out there and rap.
Right.
It's like,
let me hit him with all this swagger, but like Jay-Z's swagger is like, frankly, it's 101. Like it's just different. You know, you heard him at I'm not sure. You said you did watch his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, right?
Jay-Z?
Yeah. And Dave Chappelle was inducting him, and Dave Chappelle was like reliving a story when they ran into each other at a party. He said, "Hey man, like, is it hard trying to be like, I mean, not trying to be." He said, it's got to be difficult just being like so cool all the time." And then Jay-Z responds like, "It's got to be hard being funny all the time." But he's just like, the way he told it, it's like, obviously Chappelle's going to tell a story like a master storyteller. But yeah, man, you cannot emulate. It's interesting. Your Q-Tip mention is an interesting one, but you're right. Q-Tip, for the better part of his career, has been surrounded by a clique and a crew that was always very well rehearsed. But the reason I think is an interesting call out is because Busta Rhymes' voice is boisterous and it's loud. Jay-Z's voice cuts through. It just, he got a voice that's gonna like manage to like captivate and grab your attention. Some of the others you mentioned, I can't recall, but when I was tracking, they were loud voice people. Q-Tip does not have a loud voice, but Q-Tip, I really do think Q-Tip, I don't know this. I don't have any reason other than speculation to feel this way, but I do think that Q-Tip processes music holistically in a way that most don't, because he is the producer rapper that he is, because I just feel like for example, Nas approaches music as a rapper first, and that's often the case for rappers. We hear things through the rap, you know what I mean? But I think Q-Tip recognizes things holistically. He'll look at it and be like, all right, well, if my voice is like this, then I'm gonna need, the late great Phife Dawg to come hold me down on this part. I'm gonna need Ali Shaheed to do like this. I need Jerobi to say like that. I need Consequence. You know what I mean? He probably quarterbacks the hell out of it, just probably like he does in the studio, which is why I presume he comes so correctly in the live show that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he brings the energy, and I feel like he probably factors in all of those levels. I actually went to the last show that Tribe did together as a group, all of them when Phife was alive. It was like the last show that they did in Cali. It was in Cali, and I mean, shortly after Phife passed away. So I was glad I got to see them as a collective. But you know, Q-Tip is on stage like amping up. You know, he's doing his little bounce, and he's
Right.
he's so interactive, and those little things even play a part in your live performance because you're exerting energy. You know what I mean? It's like literally like playing a full court basketball game and somebody asking you to rap while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Or recite lyrics. You know, and you know, Spliff Star and Buster, they got a crazy, like they're exerting a lot of energy. DMX was the same way. You know what I mean? He's running across the stage, he's barking, he's doing all of that, and but that's what I'm saying. Like DMX, I've seen him perform on a number of occasions, but he never missed his words.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like Nas, I just expect Nas to get every single word in there. And when he dropped
I don't think
the
he was
word,
missing words at the Grammys. I think he was omitting the cuss words.
Yeah, you know, but again, I just, he wasn't doing that at Smoking Grooves.
Right, true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sounds like a flub. And that's what you don't. You see what I'm saying? You want to make it come off. There's a creative way you could do that.
I mean, Snoop is a master of like giving you, you know, PG friendly words in place of like the lyrics that we all know. So when he got to do something that is a more family friendly platform, like, you know, he'll find a way to, you know, fill in a lot of them explicit lyrics with some more family friendly.
And
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, this is not a fair comparison because again, it's a group versus one person. That's why I'm saying with Nas, he probably needs a hype man. He probably needs a great DJ that can just pick up, you know, those rehearsals and pick up those cues to fill in for him. But like, for example, you were mentioning Snoop Dogg. I'll say Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang Clan has the guillotine kind of sound that even when they perform on something that has to be a little bit more PG, you know, they're tring, you know what I mean? They got the little, you know, whatever it is. Sound effect, you know what I mean? So you still get the effect. They can take a breath while that little sound effect is going on and still hit you with that same energy and that level of performance. And so I'm just saying, like, it's not fair. Like I said, what I'm judging, my criteria, that's the word I'm looking for. My criteria for Nas is not fair.
Right.
I'm telling you that. I expect so much from Nas because I put him in that echelon of Black Thought and Big Daddy Kane and Busta Rhymes and you know, all those people that I mentioned.
I mean, his stature, frankly, for better or for worse, but I don't think I'm out of pocket saying his stature exceeds those guys. Nas is in very rare air. I think the you know, Black Thought's kind of ability is coming to the fore more lately. Ever since the, you know, the notorious Funk Flex 10-minute, you know, rhyme. Like, I think it was that kind of like was like woke everybody up. Like, this guy been nice. I know we kind of just lump him into he's down with like the Qualis and the Most Defs and like, I don't care what group you want to put him in. He's one of the best to rap, and I think that became it kind of smacked everybody in the face. But Nas, just based on the way he busted through the gate with Illmatic, with, you know, Back to the Grill, all that, like, you know, he's been anointed from the beginning. He has, you know, I don't want to get too, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but there's like a little bit of LeBron-ness to Nas, like in terms of like, it started very young, you know, and from what I understand, that street reputation and the stuff that, what's my man's name from Third Base? Third Base, Search. When Search heard him, said, "Yo, I want to throw you on the street," man, like, his buzz was going crazy, and then he came with Illmatic, and his Illmatic was backed by a production ensemble that, like, nobody's ever seen that before. Like, he, you know, so Nas has a different legacy. So I understand you know, your very high expectations on him. It's because he set that bar himself, you know. So I get it. I
Right.
get it.
Right. And again, it's like saying ice cream. Like, there even bad ice cream is still ice cream. Like even a
All
bad
day.
pizza is still
Yes.
a really good pizza, most of
Yes.
the time. So it's like it's Nas. Like I was happy that he got his recognition. I was happy about him performing at the Grammys. All of that. Like I wasn't mad. It's just me. It's just personally like
Right.
what my expectation is of these people. And I mean, I would hope if he heard this, he would take it as like, damn, that's interesting. Maybe I could add that layer to my performance as opposed to like, oh, this nigga hating, because it's not a hate. It's not a hate thing at all. It's like I love Nas. I'm it's like one of my favorite. I mean, he's on the wall. You know what I
He's
mean?
on the
Like
wall.
that's my guy. You know what I mean? So it's just me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect that. There wasn't a whole lot to dive through with regards to the Grammys. I feel further and further like kind of just distance from that stuff.
Let me ask you a question since we on that.
Yeah.
What is, again, I watched the Unsung with Diggable Planets last night. Have you seen that one?
I think I did.
It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
like it. But they won Grammys, plural, for Cool Like That and that first album.
Rebirth the Slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of, the Unsung was saying it kind of hurt them and their legacy in
Oh,
a sense.
wow.
Because they came out so hot, you know what I mean? That they dropped a single and it went like crazy platinum, and you know what I mean? And they're like, that set.
Cool Like That it's one of them. Play it anywhere. Oh, you chilling? Play it. Oh, you going up? Play it. Because it's such a Teflon record. Like, it's so perfect that it's just gonna hit right. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So, and now they had great art after that, and they had great singles after that. They was just like, what ends up happening? Well, at the time, the climate of hip hop was, if you win a Grammy and you're getting that much exposure and your song is being played that much, you must be selling out. And then you get a certain demographic that just automatically starts hating on you. Typically, it was the underground, and that's why they were saying it kind of hurt them to a certain degree.
Interesting.
Which I believe that was the temperament of the climate of that era.
I mean, we lived that, and everybody was very like quick to pull that you would sell out card, like quick.
Yeah. Fast forward to today, everybody wants to do what the sellouts of that era was doing. You know what I mean? It's just capitalizing on their their fame and exposure. But I'm saying that to say this. Super proud of Nas performing at the Grammys, and whoever's won a Grammy in hip hop or R&B or any African American music, I'm happy that you got recognition. But I feel like, and I'm asking you this, how do you feel about the Grammys as a whole? Because I feel like they really treat artists like especially urban artists like crap.
Yeah. I think about this all the time, right? Like, as a child, these things, felt, I mean, they are the highest institutional acclaims, right? The best actor, best movie or whatever was getting an Oscar. Your best TV show was getting an Emmy. The best music was getting the Grammy. With maturation comes a more critically active mind, where you don't necessarily just accept what's being told to you. And I guess to that end, and then also you just become way more privy and aware of the schmoozing and the politics that are involved and around the things that are not necessarily merit of the music related in order to come away with the award, right? This thing is so subjective. Who won the award? That was somebody. We had 2 award shows in the last couple weekends. So somebody was just like, this is, these arts are subjective. They are very subjective. So I guess in 2021, if we go back in the archive of URF Tone Tuesday, I'm pretty sure I said later for the Grammys. Like later for like the idea that, you know, this group, and this is my feeling at the time, you know, we grow, we change, whatever, things waver, right? But at the time, I felt like, you know, this here pretentious group is not authorized to tell me what's best, right? Now I look at it as like, well, this is a group. It is an institution. It's a sample representation of larger audience bases, and they, you know, through their institution, they have the right, they have the authority to determine what's best. You know, society is a collective, industry wide. You know, just people at large, musicians, etc., have given that that credence to this institution of the Grammys. So if they choose it, I think it's an honor or whatever for somebody to receive it. Because I remember, I forgot who it was. One of these artists last year was like, "Man, I just got my Grammy, and Kanye's being disrespectful by pissing on his, because like I've been working so long towards this." So I'll try to be mindful of that. And honestly, I say what I say. If we were lucky enough to win a Grammy, I would feel honored by it, because you're in a room among what's supposed to be your peers and stuff like that. And just in terms of being creatives, not like your friends, but you know, peers creatively. And this group, like, listen, if we go back to the Real Ones party on a Sunday, and that committee of DJs says, "Hey, we wanted to present you with this because we think you guys are the best up and coming hip hop," that would be an honor. So any group, any committee that says, "Yo, we recognize you and we think you're the best out of whatever category or by whatever criteria," I think that's really decent. I think it's humbling and very nice. You know, so my 2021 sentiment has just kind of tempered down. I'm like, nah, you're not the end all. Your voice is not the end all be all, but it's still an honor. It's a tremendous honor.
That's interesting. And like always, you tend to have a very, very well balanced you know, approach to those things. I tend to be a little bit more you know what I mean? Like the yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. I think that you're correct, and I need to learn from that. I feel like being in Hollywood on the other side, the theatrical side, you know, and kind of getting to see behind the curtain sometimes, I feel like it would be much more. I get it. Any recognition, any praise from any group, collective group, should be appreciated. But I feel like if it's a group of people in a room that don't understand the culture, understand the music, don't understand the merit or understand the artistry that went into it, and then I know on the flip side of that coin, there's also a machine and PR and publicists that are jockeying and paying people and whatnot for you to get this certain recognition from this group, this room full of people that don't know anything about the culture. Then it starts to get a little bit, I guess, convoluted to me in the appreciation. Like, for example, if we got recognition from the Beat Junkies,
right,
or what's Jazzy Jeff's weekend?
Camp something.
What is it
creative called? I forgot what he called it. Some camp. It's some camp.
Yeah, where they, you know, all of these artists like Moonchild and you know, Masago and all of these cats like get invited, and you collectively start to rub elbows and you start to create together and all of this stuff. Like, if we got invited to something like that, like that would be something that I would completely be humbled by, appreciative, and because
Playlist Retreat. I just Googled it.
Thank you. Playlist Retreat. You know, that's huge.
Yeah.
Just to get an invite, just to be a fly on the wall in that room, not to even get any, not to win anything, just to get invited and to be in that think tank. I would be like, probably hit you like, yo, Ela, this is major. This is a big deal right here.
Yeah, it's who you want to be recognized by.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, with the Grammys, they've done so many disrespect. And this is not just one. This is not this year. This is not, they've been disrespectful since the inception of hip hop, not recognizing it as a music form and not recognizing it to give it the airtime on their, platform. Like, yo, we'll give you the awards, but we're not going to let you speak. We're not, you know what I mean? And it's been like, it's just been a real ugly, it's been a very toxic relationship for me. So I mean, even watching the show, I don't even watch the show, so I mean, there's something that I need to probably humble myself and kind of learn from you. I think you always have a very well balanced.
Nah, I was cracked last year. I was coming in hot. I was like, I didn't like the idea of there even existing an institution to determine what's best. I feel like filters are a problem. Like, I feel like what we live in today, there's positives and negatives to be taken away from it. But like, essentially, and I, man, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu. I feel like I even said this last year, but like, was it the Defiant ones? Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, that little docuseries? Like, what I learned in watching that, and I've told this story before, there were full-blown like altercations and beefs, and the music was a significant part in my junior high school experience. A lot of the music that was being spoken of in that docuseries, the music was a defining component of a lot of racial tensions that existed in my junior high experience. And I if you may recall, like, I was talking about how at there was a dance, and they were playing the Loonies. Yeah, they were playing a little hip hop before the Loonies, and then all like the punk, rock alternative kids sat down, and demonstrated protest again. We're not gonna dance to this. Meanwhile, those who got down to that were enjoying themselves. And then when the Loonies I Got Five on It came up, somebody snitched, went up to one of the the teachers or somebody and said, hey, this song is is drug related. And so they cut it with the swiftness, jumped to what's Gwen Stefani's old group, No Doubt.
No Doubt.
And them kids start jumping around like doing this little ditty bop. I'm like, this song sucks. Like, this song sucks to dance to. It's a good song in retrospect, but this is my 12-year-old self. Like, if you don't like ours, we don't like yours then, so but all of that stuff was Jimmy Iovine, like, and then he hired Dre. Dre has such a stronghold on everything going on in urban music at times, especially growing up in California. It's like, oh, this is all one machine. Everything's being spoon fed. Like, you're almost just like pick your choice. Like, you're not supposed to see beyond it, like these parameters, So I don't like these filters of people saying, don't think beyond this. The best R&B songs are unquestionably one of these four. Like, nah, probably not. There's probably some crazy talented person right outside my window. You know what I mean? Go to 3rd Street, go to, the Venice Boardwalk. Somebody's hustling, showcasing incredible talent, but has zero business savvy, Right. And so we celebrate the ability to market, in the best case scenarios, it's the perfect storm where marketing, well-oiled team and actual talent come together. Those are the best case scenarios. Those are the ones that we look at and say, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Stevie Wonder of Motown Records. Like, everything about him is perfect. His hit making is perfect. And the machine behind him was perfect. So we love those instances, but there's so many times, like, this gonna sound like some hater talk too, and it's not something I want to like delve into as a hater, but I just feel like, and it could be me, maybe I'm a step removed. I dig Silk Sonic. I really dig their energy. They're playful. Their talent is like out of this world. But at the same time, they're not even taking it serious I don't know. It's really hard for me to try to like convey what I'm trying to convey right now. Maybe I haven't fully grasped it in my mind to be able to articulate it, but they are recreating music, you know, in the spirit of, you know, maybe like a little bit of Teddy Pendergrass and that kind of soul, maybe Stax, you know, a little bit of Motown, and they've, you know, ingested those components, and they don't take themselves too seriously in the process, but it is serious. Like the mix is cold, the execution of the vocals are incredible, and I felt like the competition wasn't really stiff. I felt like in movie making, it's the same. People are like, "Yo, did you?" And I'm not here to do any kind of Will Smith talk. I don't think you are either. But like, "Yo, King Richard, it won, or the best, it won in best performance. Like, what do you think?" I was like, "It's a good movie." I'd be, you know, overstating if I'm like, "Oh, if you don't catch this, you're doing yourself a disservice." Like, because now your expectations are too high and the movies are not going to do that. I feel like the quality of the stuff, and maybe this COVID implications on this too, and a lot of people had to stay home to do creative development when it's supposed to be more collaborative, but like the bar is a little bit lower. And so when these institutions are like, "Yo, it's these 4 or 5 in this, in whatever the given category is," it's like, no, it's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, it's not.
And then you factor in the fact that most people don't even win for the right song or movie or thing that they're supposed to win for. So then when they finally do win, you almost feel cheated because you're like, if it's supposed to be like coming from you about your team, about your label, about your promotion, your PR, and the song itself, you know what I mean? Like, then that's what it should be about. But if it's not for the song itself, then you're just getting kind of like this, you're getting more rewarded for your team, which should be a different category altogether. You could actually create another category. Yo, for the best PR and marketing and management and label, we got an award. And the reason why you're getting nominated for this award is for the work you did with fulfilling artists.
Yes.
And you
have elevated this artist to high heights. Yes, absolutely. Yes. I really like that idea.
Then I'm cool with it, because what ends up happening is that artist wins for a wax, I don't want to say a wax song, but a song that deservedly shouldn't be there. They get on stage and they're like, "Yo, I want to thank my management. I want to thank my label. I want to thank for so and so." And they're thanking all the people that got them the award.
Right.
Well, all the viewers at home is like, that wasn't the best song of the year. That wasn't the album of the year. Like, that wasn't, you see what I'm saying? And it's happened time and time again. It's happened with movies. It's happened with, again, like I said, music, all of that stuff. Just create another award for management team and for, you know, the best team.
Right. Now, what the Grammys did, and I did like it, was they allowed road managers to participate on the stage. And by that I mean, like, they presented some awards, which I thought was particularly cool. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And you know, I thought it did give some due recognition to very critical players, because again, the artist is really just the tip of the iceberg. You know, the artist, it's important. The music's got to be nicely executed, but, you know, especially when you talk about if they didn't write it, if they didn't produce it, you know what I mean? They just kind of performing somebody else's creativity. So really, they are an excellent performer. You know, there are different levels to it all, but all these different parts of the machine, you know, those who, you know, help get you on the road, keep you together, market you, make sure that you are prominently positioned on the playlists, you know, the ones that get all the traffic, like those people, that award should they should, you know, it should be accepting. It should be accepting awards too. Dang, I did have a point or a question. You said something that's not necessarily sparked my thought, but yeah, I think, you know, I'm sure this can be argued against, but the ultimate, like, to your original point of the Grammys, you know, lack of finger on the pulse of black music and so on was Macklemore winning in the year of Good Kid. Good Kid is still my favorite, and you hear the hesitation in my voice because he's just very good every single time. Kendrick Lamar is, but Good Kid to me, it did something different. It just did something different. We talked about this recently, like the West Coast, where we talked about it with Chuck Dizzle on the show. The West Coast has a legacy of excellence, kind of like what you said about the Diggable Planets. That bar is exceptionally high. So you're talking about Ice Cube, you're talking about Dre, you're talking about Snoop. Those guys are like, they are in rare air artistically, whether you're the producer, whether you're the pen of NWA / America's Most Wanted, Lethal Injection, Predator, all this stuff. Like, Snoop is Snoop. We know. So there's been some really good talent coming out the West, but when people said, it was floundering and like, oh, the West is down and it's the South, it's not because the West was struggling. It's because we didn't have Snoop and, you know what I mean? These generational talents. Kendrick came and rectified that. He is generational, and it was happening on Section 80. It was happening. It was bubbling. But what happened on Good Kid, Mad City was like a cultural shift, And so when he didn't get that award, it was like, yo, like, your ear is so far from the ground right now. Like, you're not absolutely disconnected, and going with Macklemore because, obviously there's a lot we can dive into on that, but
it's a room full of people that don't look like us and that aren't in touch with our culture, telling the world what they think is valid. And so that always is going to rub me the wrong way. It's like, and I know you, and the only reason why I bring this up is because I know that you tapped into, Questlove Supreme, and he's on the committee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? His musical.
He's on the Grammy committee too.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, but again, it's one person in a room full of.
Yes. Well, yeah. Questlove, he's a master navigating those spaces,
mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I don't think he was on at the Macklemore debacle time. No diss to Macklemore. It's just he's not bad. It's just that he was the wrong choice, and he knew it too. But Questlove, I think these are course corrections that have taken place as a result of some of these uproars. It's rightful uproars to say, like, no, y'all missed. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose black music, which essentially is America's, culturally defining, to me, I'm biased, but it's like its most culturally defining component. Jazz, rock and roll, bluegrass, obviously hip hop, you name it. People just kind of distill it down to hip hop and R&B now, but it's all black music. And if you burn that bridge, Grammys, you messed up.
I mean, Jay Prince was really big on like boycotting, like all the artists boycotting the Grammys this year. And I was like, yeah, that's what we should do. We should create our own situation to recognize our own people, because you're never going to get the recognition from people that don't understand your culture and don't understand your music. So I was all for it. I was like, yeah, I think that's what it should be, because you're looking for validation from people that don't respect. Virgil, they recognizing all the people that passed away this year. They put Virgil, and underneath they put urban fashion designer. Still was the head designer at Louis Vuitton. You know what I mean? Like and this is one of those situations where like you're saying urban almost as like an insult, like, oh, he was just an urban fashion designer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Well, this dude was a legitimate fashion designer, like across all platforms.
Right.
Then you show the Force MDs and the guy who passed away from the Force MDs, and you put the wrong Force MD picture up there.
Oh, I didn't even take note of that. I wasn't glued to the set necessarily, so I missed that.
Now, again, I didn't watch the show, but I'm seeing all this the next day, and I'm just saying, like, this validates me not even rocking with the Grammys, because I'm like, dog, they don't pay attention to the details, and why would they when they don't understand the culture and they're not our culture? It's a room full of people that, you know, they're really more concerned about the country music artists that are there, the old time rock and rollers. You know, hey man, how can we keep Elton John relevant? Oh, let's get him to do a performance with Eminem. Like, let's make him. They're not trying to get like shine the light on Eminem. They're trying to keep Elton John relevant. You know what I mean? That's the kind of room you're dealing with these people making these decisions on how to keep their memories valid and alive. You know what I mean? Man, when I was in high school, I remember I smashed my first girl to an old Elton John joint. We got to keep this guy rocking and rolling with us, man. Like, oh man, get up out of here, man. We got memories too. And so for me, I feel like we just need to pull out of that. We need to pull out.
And what you're speaking on is there are so many levels to how bad it is, because again, all of these popular musical genres and forms are in essence Black music.
Yeah.
You know, and then they get different iterations on them and they evolve. It's not good. It's not good.
It's all bad. And so I'm more on the Jay-Z kind of Kanye tip, where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave your crib right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wait to be invited back the right way. Because obviously, like y'all don't respect my presence here. So I'm gonna fall back. Yeah. And I'm gonna wait to be invited, because I want the red carpet rolled out for me too. I want what this person is getting. Y'all are really loving this cat over here for some reason, and I understand y'all have memories attached to this person's music, but you're not going to let your memories and your relationship with this artist affect or define my art. So I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna wait to be invited back the right way. And believe me, when I'm invited back the right way, y'all gonna have to pay for it too. Y'all gonna have to make up for that time that I was away. So it's
not like Eminem is a part of that movement as well. And you know, for him, he's just talking about. I mean, I've just seen this one little clip, so hopefully I'm not out of context. But the little clip that I've seen several times, you know, he's just basically he's like, you know, now if I lose to, and he does name some names, some like notable, you know, heavy hitters in the genre. So he's like, if I lose to Kanye or Lil Wayne or somebody like that, I can accept that defeat. I know what they've done. You know, I can actually like measure their impact. He's like, but when you handed it to, he didn't say no names on the bad side, but when you just handed it out to somebody else and you just got us to come to your award show and sit down just so the camera could show us and you can use our names to leverage your show, like, forget it. Like, I don't want to do that. So I get it. I guess the only difference, I guess, maybe when the way my perspective may have shifted was I asked myself this question: what would my reaction be if we get a Grammy? And it's to that I try to stay, all right, let me just look at this through that other lens, because I don't want to be somebody who sound nutty, just being like, yeah, later for the Grammys, boo them, screw them, I'm never gonna tune in. And then like, you got invited, we're nominated, and I'll be all excited about it. So I'd rather say, let me just have an open mind. I don't know what the experience is. I don't anticipate getting nominated, but nevertheless, I'm gonna keep my heart open just in case.
Listen, man, I love these Earth Tone Tuesdays, and I think that's why our friendship works. I always tell people we don't agree on everything, but I think that, you know, what I have found to be true in my life is that God uses, you know, my rough edges to smooth out the edges of other people and vice versa. He uses your rough edges to smooth out my, and a lot of times I listen with an open mind and an open heart, and I say, all right, let me think about that. Let me recalibrate and really take what you said into heart. But I can tell you in my life, I have been the person that has just been like, I don't care about that. Like when I used to audition for like TV shows and stuff like that, but like I never watched soaps. You know, but again, I did like General Hospital. I've done like, you know, a couple soap operas. And I would go in there and audition, and they'd be like, so yeah, in the character, you know, such and such. I'd be like, I don't watch this show. So, they're like, you don't watch the show? No, I don't watch the show. I don't watch the show. Like I'm not gonna front, and I'm not gonna start watching the show, because then you gotta do it. Then it's like
there's a nuanced difference. I feel you. There's a nuanced difference to what you're saying now. And the difference is, it's not like, I guess here's a question. As a result of landing that gig, my guess is you didn't start watching the show. Maybe you watched your episode or your episodes, but you didn't start watching the show, right? You're just doing your homework, your due diligence, check your playback or whatever. Conversely, if you so much as receive a letter or a call or whatever that says you are nominated, like, what is your perspective then? Like, hey, you know, URF Tone's project has been regarded by such and such, by the Grammy, by the Academy, as being worthy of a nomination. Like, what is your feeling on that? Because I feel like, you know, as far as cliches that get thrown around in today's day and age, like, keep that energy, you know, keep it the same and all that. It's like, all right, well, let me just try to figure out what my energy will be on the other side. Listen, I love the Lakers. That energy's not going nowhere. This team has pissed me off, you know, to more than any Laker roster has ever done in my life. But my energy is the same. It is a passionate Laker fan. I don't want to find myself, you know, being fickle and inconsistent. If I'm like, to hell with the Grammys, we get nominated, I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, this is exciting. Mom.
Right. You know? Yeah, man. I get it. I get it. It's something for me to really, really sit down and kind of think about, because I think at this point, the first thing, I guess, if we ever got that, I would be like, who are we nominated against? Because if they're like, yo, it's, you know, it kind of feels like, yo, you won this award, and by the way, the catch you won it over was, you know, Luke Walton, and you know, like, you know, you won the NBA championship, but who you won it over was, you know, Dickie Simpkins, and you know,
yeah.
Okay, you know, thanks.
You don't want that. You don't want that Raptors championship where the whole roster was depleted.
Like, so I think that would be my first question. And then again, I think I would be appreciative, because I know what other people don't know, which is what he said.
He said he watches Miles. What's his name from Modern Day?
Yeah, Miles. Yeah. But yeah, I think that I would be
Miles Simon. There it is.
Yeah, I'll be happy, because I know that not everybody knows the industry like I know it. And so a lot of people look at the Grammys and they really feel like that person is the best. I mean, you know what I mean? They really feel like you got middle America that really believes reality TV is real.
Sure.
You got middle America that believes that when something is being sold to them and it says new and improved, they're like, whoa, Tide is really new and improved. It's a real thing. They've been in the lab trying to, you know, make this a better, you know, detergent. I'm jaded when it comes to that, because I've seen the people and the machine and all of the things that go on the back end. And I know that we're being sold something. And even on the Grammys, we're being sold something. And even when People magazine come out with the top 50 most beautiful people in the world, and that person at number one usually has a movie coming out, blockbuster movie coming out this summer. Are they really the most beautiful person in the world, or are they just is that PR and marketing for the movie. You know what I mean? Like
I'm surprised if that I wouldn't be. I should say this. I would not be surprised if that thing goes obsolete in the next few years. Like that one, you know, that one was a reflection of society and culture at whatever time it came about. I believe it was like the 90s or something like that. But you know, that was going on. Everybody would throw that stuff around, you know, not, you know, not to discredit anyone else or whatever, but now everybody's very conscientious about all different walks of life, or we're trying to get there as a collective. So beauty is not necessarily the Western standard, like, et cetera, you know. So I'll be surprised if that one doesn't go obsolete.
Yeah. So I mean, but to that point, you still have a large part of America, mainly the middle America, that is not exposed like California and New York to the machine. You know, that still believe it. They really wholeheartedly eat that up. You know what I mean? So this world is changing way too fast for them.
Yeah.
They still want to believe that people's top 50 beautiful people in the world are the top 50 most beautiful people in the world. Why? Because if you've ever been to the Midwest, you know that a good majority of the population there doesn't look like California and New York.
Right.
I always say, like, when I go back home, when I go back to Milwaukee, or when I go back to New York, or, you know, the Midwest, like, on average, everybody, men and women, are like an extra 5 to 10 pounds heavier.
Sure.
Just walking through the airport, you're like, man, that's your typical guy, but he's just heavier. You get out here in California, and every girl is 10 pounds lighter than their average girl is supposed to be. And so you start, you know what I mean? Like out here, we're a little bit jaded. We see this marketing machine. We see all of the bells and the whistles and the PR, and, you know, how you can manipulate 1 million followers on Instagram, and all of the things. Oh, you can pay this person and they can get you your blue check and blah, blah, blah. And in the Midwest, a big portion of that community still believes in the blue check and in the, oh, this person has 1 million followers, they must be really popular.
Right.
You know, that kind of stuff. That, I guess that's the stuff that rubs me the wrong way. And so I have to sit back with that and really take what you're saying and maybe change, you know, kind of digest it.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You're right. If we got nominated, I would have to really consider how I felt about that and how the people around me felt about that.
Yeah. Because we get nominated and I get all hyped and excited. You know, some of these haters that go deeper to the archives, they're going to pull up that episode of URF Tone Tuesday. It's like, yo, this dude was shitting on us.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you know.
Well, let me say in advance, if we ever are nominated for a Grammy, I'm going to let Ela show up to the show on our behalf. I have to figure out whether or not I'm going to play myself. So, but right now, I got your back, but I'm on the scale right now.
All right. Look, this is what I want to do before we get out, because we hit that hour mark. But big sincere thank you, Paul. You making a shift, you slipping and sliding with us. We're just trying things out on this platform. Thank you for finding us. I don't know, because I didn't, I wasn't using any efforts to promote, because I wanted to keep it low key in the event that some things didn't pan out how we planned and so on. But I do have a question for you, Paul, since you appear to be rocking with us still. What do you feel about this shift over to Twitch / YouTube, or wherever you're tuned in from? You think it's a good move? Do you think we should, what's your feeling on the way that we're evolving on with URF Tone Tuesday? I'm waiting for it. The drum roll. Sorry, if you see me looking left, I got the computer screen to the left of my my camera in the front, and so I was oh, well, good luck, man. You one of the five on Twitch. Yeah, we just trying to figure this thing out.
Gotta grow.
Does this platform, does it feel, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And I like, what does it feel like, the right sort of direction? Just, like I said, you are here with us, so we always like to get the temperature of whoever's in the room, get a sense of it's a good move for sure. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, we got some things to mull over. So we'll do our huddle. We'll try to figure out ways to continue to improve, get our this thing correct, get our business straight. We try to get it right. Yeah, it's good. It's good for talks and music. Well, that's what's up. Maybe we do get the music back in the mix if one of them non-music platforms is acting funny.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we appreciate you. Whoever may catch this, a little bit later down the line, we appreciate you for checking in with us too. It's been another URF Tone Tuesday. We keeping the train moving. We'll see y'all in a week. URF Tone Tuesday. Peace out.